La 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 la, I am streaming. Welcome to the show. And is something coming on? You can see it goes live and it just has a black screen there, eh? Hey, look at that. And now we're live. Green there.
Yeah.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back to the rationalinvestor.com's Crypto Top 100 show. I just had to update OBS and my apologies for starting a couple minutes late. Actually, it's 6:01, so that actually isn't so bad. But I was sitting here freaking out, kind of going, Houston, we have a problem. But actually, Paul here. Of course, you all know Paul, killer crypto trader. Say hello, Paul.
Hello.
He's like, you know what? Just hit the damn button and just get going, would you? Jesus H. Christ. No, he didn't swear. Like Paul would ever swear. I mean, come on.
Only on Discord.
Only on Discord, all right. Not on YouTube. He knows how this game works. Anyway, welcome back to the Frivolity, everybody. Kind of a screwy start there, but what a big surprise, eh? Pretty typical for Brian. We have the camera on, and I've got this little camera here on the Google Hangout out. And I know the screen resolution is crap. Although I did notice, I was watching Paul's charts. They didn't look half bad. I think it's just that I put so much stuff on my screen that it's sometimes hard to read. Anyway, welcome back to TRI's Crypto Countdown, TRI's Crypto Top 100 Cryptocurrency Review, episode 76. Holy crap, we've been doing this a while. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Ben. I know, of course, he has little ones, so it's always a challenge with the little ones. Might as well, I'm not even quite sure how to do this midstream. I suppose I could probably really screw this up if I mess this up. But I guess I haven't turned the monetization. So our buddy over there in Hong Kong who bribes me to look at all his names. There's no way for him to grease the system tonight. Monetization is off, but I don't know how you do that while the video is going. I don't think you can turn it on while it's going. Anyway, so welcome back to the show. I'm fearful. I don't want to tinker with this while it's actually streaming. That might just mess it up. But let's see. Webcam, manage. Well, maybe that's it. Let's see what I'm saying. Nope, see, that's going to exit the stream. So I better not do that. Anyway, welcome back to the Frivolity. We've got... hey, there's... who's Michael Erskine? Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Is wishing us all a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Ben. And if hopefully we see Ben here tonight. And Happy New Year to you, Paul. Merry Christmas. Do you celebrate the Orthodox Christmas? Was your Christmas December 25th or was it in January?
No, December 25th.
All right. So anyway, happy early January, whatever the hell it is, for all of us in the Western world, I guess. But anyway, and Happy New Year right back at you, Michael. Hopefully we can give you some value here tonight. And if anything, I had on the screen before we got this show up and running. Holy Bitcoin rallies, eh? Bitcoin tastes great. The cool part about this is actually we have an algorithm running on the site right now. We had a little head fake sell signal there about a week or so ago. And I actually got out of my longs from the signal over here back in mid-December. Only to literally the next day get right back in. Hey, how did you do that? Is the monetization? It's on. The monetization thing is on.
Yeah.
Paul's here. I swear, Paul's gonna keep us in. There's gonna be this mountain of Rons. I have no idea what the hell a Ron is, but I think it's a Romanian currency. Right? What does Ron stand for?
Romanian leu.
Romanian
Romanian lion. Yeah, but it's
lion. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much, Paul. So Paul just demonstrated that I guess the monetization is on.
Just for testing purposes.
Then that means that my got to keep the potty mouth in line. We don't want YouTube to crap on us, and of course, no conspiracy talk here, right?
Not this time.
So anyway, point of the matter here is I had actually the algo on our site flip back bullish. So I did hop off and I hopped right back on to my demo. I've been actually doing this model. We just got this algorithm up and running on the website here over the past, I don't know, say 6 months or so, running in earnest. And I have to say, this is looking pretty darn polished. We are constantly having sort of an issue with running our crypto top 30 universe, and the server actually like sort of filters the data. So it's an ongoing challenge, but I like the direction that we're heading. I think this dashboard gives you a pretty good read on the market. And especially with regard to the broader market, you can clearly see we're in like rally mode here, which is kind of ironic because I think this is probably the last thing in the world anybody is actually expecting. But you can see U.S. stocks pointing up. Hell, even European stocks were pointing up. Canadian stocks pointing up. Australian stocks pointing up. So, hey, you might as well enjoy it while it lasts. We are also, too, into the January barometer reporting window, and like, kind of market old timers, if you will. We like to sort of just watch how the price action in the month of January goes. Often gives us a good indication of what the rest of the year is going to look like. And let's call a spade a spade. It looks to me like actually they're going to put a base in this market and rally it hard into the end of the year. Here's the first day of the year. Here is the first week of the year. And now we're going to be reporting sort of the entire first month of the year. See how this looks. Probably the first full month is probably the best gauge. But all you Bitcoiners, what do you think the prognostication is for your beloved Bitcoin through 2023? This is a bit of a surprise, eh? Holy free holies. So we'll see how the month of January goes. We actually, we had on just, an absolute deer in my eyes. A gentleman who's been on the site for quite some time, Steven, on the Daily Brief, the after party today. We have sort of a two-pronged Daily Brief now. We have like a 30-minute summary. We're just trying to put everything into sort of, 30-minute summary of what the hell's going on in the world. And then we have like sort of like, we call it the after party. And today we had Steven on, who's a harmonic genius. And it was great having conversations with Steven today. If I'm not mistaken, I think you're coming on one of these after parties, aren't you, Paul?
Yeah, Friday.
Friday. So you want to check out sort of our candid, no holds barred conversation about traders and in the trading community. With Paul on Friday. Be sure to be on the TRI after party. And FYI, if you are watching this for the very first time, you can come on the site and do just 30-day trial. You can come in and listen to the daily briefs and enjoy the conversation. Of course, sort of see a very tertiary overview of the site platform, and you can do it for free. Maybe consider joining us. Of course, we'll get a nice big mouthful of Paul tonight. Mouthful? I don't know whether that's the right term. Anyway, we're going to get a big old whack of Paul here tonight. And of course, Paul does have his Discord channel. and we're at Crypto Traders Arena. And from what I understand, that's going on. You're gonna be pretty damn famous by the end of this next cycle, my friend. So
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess so. I'll live with it. Well, how you doing this morning, Paul? Looking at charts, sun setups. Well, it's just business as usual. I love it. So, all right. So the point of the matter here, I suppose, from this is, and the message I sort of gave the community today, and I think I even did this on the sort of the free YouTube video, is we're getting uppy, no doubt about it. Actually, you could even make the argument that crypto top 30 is actually even getting a bit overbought. We are above the 80 line. You saw what happened the last time and the big meltdown, and then we go below the 20 line. We had that great long signal in early mid-December. And now we're still just riding this long signal, as they say, climbing the wall of worry. From a harmonic perspective, I was contemplating whether this might be a pattern. I even put this out on Twitter the other day, sort of just asking, kind of half asking, especially with all our site OGs. Some of them are really, really good traders. And so I kind of like just to interact with them on social media as well. But also too, just contemplating what's the odds of this actually being a reversal level. Candle body highs for trade location 88.6s, couple Falcon bombs here to stop us. And this actually is why you like to call these harmonic patterns and these point Ds, the end of the harmonic pattern, a PRZ. It's not a reversal zone, it is a potential reversal zone. And this is a really good lesson right in here. I mean, you tell me, does that look like it's stopped going up? I don't think so. And, maybe a good trade location rule, rule reason, rule number 1 for our contemplating a trade setup. But, you go down and look at the indicators. Do they look like they're in divergence right now? I don't think so. Does volume look like it's petering out? I don't think so. Willie, yes, is officially overbought. Stupidly so. But that, unfortunately, that's a warning that whatever bull market here is, you missed it. You can't chase it. Don't chase it. You're probably going to get yourself into trouble coming in and buying here. But Willie being stupid alone is not enough of a reason unto itself to actually short. And until I actually start seeing, and you can see the market was contemplating going into divergence. Right? In fact, you can see the MACD itself started to top out here. Right? And you can even make the argument that there was a divergence right there. So market goes into divergence with MACD. But look at what price has done. Just exploded higher here on strong volume and now completely smashing any kind of top that's anywhere in sight here. So I don't think it would be a good idea for you to step in front of that just yet. I think it's probably, there are better times and places to stick your neck in the noose, and this right here is not one of them. I did find it really interesting, and I thought this was hilarious. It's kind of a side note, and unfortunately, when you actually start trading a lot, and you keep in mind I've been trading for decades now, you kind of get a little jaded by this whole process. And I thought there was a really interesting tweet that one of our OGs, one of our site OGs, this gentleman, Captain Parabolic Toblerone, whatever the hell that means. We'll give him a big shout out here. He's got 5,600 followers, so obviously he's the man. He put out a tweet here, which was really interesting, where he goes, on his cell phone, he goes, $7.5 trillion market cap incoming. And frankly speaking, if we all got that, and like this is like by the middle of July, so if we actually got that to happen, or basically almost like a tenfold increase in the market cap of crypto, over the next, 4 or 5 months. Hey, Paul, would you be happy to see that?
Definitely. Why not?
Why not? Sure. What the hell?
I'll take that.
Is it realistic? I
No.
don't know. But what the hell? This guy says, look I'm so damn smart. I drive these big oil tankers around the world. I'm the man. I know what I'm doing. Okay. So, I mean, if anything, I don't want to see this kind of talk. If we have a lot of this kind of talk, then this rally is going to end in a heartbeat. Yeah, exactly, Cole. We start getting the this times it's different talk, and then it's like, crap. Well, so much for that rally. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. But it is interesting how quickly this kind of talk has started to resurface. It's a little bit dangerous, I think. But nonetheless, like what I said is, damn, I mean, if this happens, of course, we're loaded up to the boobs in crypto. So, and actually, it's even interesting. Sjord, our TRI CTO, of course, has still a whole pile of that Luna crap on the books. And if it starts coming back, what the hell? Lambo's incoming. It is interesting. I made reference that we have a after party show, and this was Steven. And Steven, of course, he's a harmonic guru. And we had a fascinating conversation today with Steven about the anticipated inflationary pressures going into the latter part of this decade. And of course, Cole's over there on YouTube. Cole, when are you slated to come on the after party? I think we need to have a chat with you. He's also freaked out about what's going to happen here in 2027. And frankly speaking, from 2027 to about 2030, oh goodness, life could get very, very challenging for all of us. The interesting thing, though, of course, is that this plays perfectly into the Bitcoin narrative. Basically the whole point of Bitcoin is to be an inflation hedge. And I think you could make the argument that, hey, Bitcoin went from nothing 10 years ago to what is it, like $20,000 or $15,000 a coin right now. I mean, hell, I think it did its job as an inflation hedge. A lot of people, of course, think that they are Bitcoin rich. I've got millions of dollars of Bitcoin, when what they don't realize is it's not really the Bitcoins that are more valuable. It's the fact that this stupid thing that we value all this stuff in, this US dollar hegemony bullshit system, is collapsing in value right in front of our eyes. But anyway, really cool conversation we had with Steven about inflation going forward. Do yourself a favor, if you really want to study this, go look at what the inflation data was from 1940 through to 49. And you'll understand this whole Great Reset bullshit crap that these World Economic Forum assholes are going to ram down our throats. Of course, that's probably going to completely demonetize us right there. Boom! Merry Christmas. All right. On a different note, happy, joy. I think I saw one of my favorite Wyckoff Czech aficionados, the Benkov Czech, joined us here. How you doing, Mr. Benkov?
Hey.
How's it going, Slick?
I'm doing great, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good to have you on board here tonight.
Happy to be here.
We've got the Three Musketeers ready to attack. I mean, I'm not even quite sure where to take the conversation. We're in face rip mode. I wouldn't step in front of this thing. I'm long, and I'm doing a demonstration account to, like I said, we just got the algo up and running. So I'm basically taking every single trade I have. And I'm doing it on Binance, so who knows? Binance, the whole damn thing might explode here any day. And it's gone. So I don't know what the hell's going to happen over at Binance. I like to ask Paul on a weekly basis what his take, because we do a lot of the comparison of Binance Tether charts. So actually, maybe that's a half decent thing to lead in with. How have either of you two? Well, actually, maybe why don't we just say hello first? So, Let's start off at the top. I think we already said hello to Ben, or excuse me, Paul. But let's say hello again. How goes Paul's morning in Romania?
Waking up, drinking my coffee, looking at the charts,
All right,
going live,
all right,
as usual. Nice.
all right. Feeling good?
And
Feeling
and
positive?
yeah, and Binance it's okay at this moment from my point of view.
All right. So there we get two birds with one stone. Thank you, sir. Let's head on over to the other side of the world. And from the great state of Florida, Mr. DeSantis's territory, I suppose. You ever get down to Mar-a-Lago? Maybe I have to answer that after we check in with you. How are you doing here today, Ben?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, it's nice to see a bit of green on the screen.
Yeah.
It's been a while. But yeah, I'm doing well. Happy to be here and yeah, hear Paul's update and yeah, some of your analysis on whatever people are looking at.
All right. Feel free to chime in. I think your additions are extremely valuable as well. Don't know.
All
Did
right.
we get a vote from you? I know we missed you last week. You had family. Look at Paul. Paul, actually, gee whiz, even the Beamish was on the long side of the market here. So son of a gun. But we didn't have Ben here last week, so
Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day. So
there you go.
yoo-hoo.
So, but I 16:8:30. I think where I don't know what the print was as of showtime. I do my funny little Tesla time windows. Let's we're supposed to start this at the top of the
It's
hour,
the
right?
same. It's the
6
same.
o'clock, so,
Same price.
Oh yeah, look at that. It didn't really move too much. So 5:30. There's 6 o'clock. So the opening. Actually, we do the closing bell of this 5:30 candle. Beep. 18,232. All right. Down 100%. Well, I don't think that's the case. There you go. 232. You got to give yourself even a little bit more there, Slick. I don't know. What market are you going off of? Are you going off of Binance or
Yeah,
Stamp? Or...
I'm looking at Binance.
All right. Well, I'll give you a couple more bucks. So clearly, Paul's a big winner. Way to go, Paul. Awesome. Even the Beamish was kind of right, thinking up. And Ben, well, we'll get Ben back into the fold here. Maybe Paul's commentary will get Ben to give us an idea of what he... I don't know, Ben. What are you thinking? Are you a bull? Are you a bear? Are you neutral? Do you have an opinion? Maybe you don't even have an opinion.
Yeah, right now, I don't know. I guess I feel bullish, but maybe that's probably wrong. Maybe I gotta go. I haven't had any time to think about it, but yeah, certainly
Okay.
feels bullish.
A lot of these little altcoins, of course, our little crypto breadth indicator is just insanely bullish right now. Almost scary, so like almost like nosebleedy, so which scares me immensely. And you can even see the broader crypto market is actually kind of waffling here a bit. So I'll stay long until this thing tells me that maybe I need to hop off. And I don't really have a problem with that. I think we're up nicely on the trade. I think also too it's going to be a pretty wild year. Up and down and up and down and up and down. So if you can just play it cool, sell into strength. As soon as people start coming out with $7 trillion upside targets, maybe it's time to start taking a bit of profit. I don't know. Anyway, okay, what's the best to show you guys here? You know what? I think honestly, Paul, probably the best thing for us to do, because that kind of sort of... There's not a hell of a lot more than I can add to the equation here on the corn. I mean, we're long, and the algo is pointing up, so just ride the wave. I'm thinking, Paul, why don't we just jump right into your presentation, and then
Why not?
we'll just open up the floor. If people want to throw names at us to look at, then what the hell, we'll do that. How does that sound? Does that sound like a plan?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I will stop screen sharing. And my apologies if the screen resolution isn't that great. I know our... I don't even know what we call him. He's kind of like the site marketing manager, I guess. Josh, actually, just before I lead into Paul here, I have to mention. Actually, you know what? Well, anyway, let's do Paul's presentation. Somebody remind me to circle around and talk a little bit about some of the work that Josh is doing on the site. He actually put together a really cool presentation from our trip to Portugal. That's just knocked the cover off the ball. It's so impressive. Okay, so let's head on over and listen a bit to Paul. I will put myself on mute. I will try and maximize the screen. Oops, that's not it. I will try and not destroy the video. Nope, that's not it. Jeez, look at all that fun stuff. I'll get my head on straight here. It's one of these buttons. Let's try that one. Hey, there we go. All right, so you've got the floor. Yes, I realize that we do have quite a bit of blank space here, but you're showing, I guess, what we just had on YouTube. Maybe Paul, you can. You're presenting what I'm presenting. What you're presenting, it's an endless loop. There you go. All right. So I'm going to put myself on mute, and let's all listen to what Paul's got in store for us.
Not too much, as usual. So, let's start with the statistics. Last week, we didn't had too many trades, but nice profit, 10%, 5 trades, 4 wins. We didn't have losses. We had a stop loss at entry. 10% profit, good enough. Works for me. News updates on Crypto Traders Arena. We're doing daily videos called Daily Plan. We are streaming directly on YouTube, available for everyone, for public. We created a channel for traditional market where gladiators, they are traders who I know they know their stuff. Traders with experience, I trust them. I trust their analysis, so I'm calling them gladiators on the site. So they have access to post now, and they like to post on traditional market as well. We did the draw for the Twitter giveaway. 9 winners. Congratulations to the winners. We started a weekly crypto review, and we'll live stream on YouTube every Sunday at 4 p.m. UTC. Just before the Broil and Chicken show, I want to watch Brian talking after I finish. So I put the live stream just before the Broil and Chicken show. We created a special part of the group. A lot of people they are asking for more from the Crypto Traders Arena, and we call them VIP. Only 20 seats. It's something only with it's something different. They have complete trade ideas, but it's only 20 seats. They have to know how to manage risk. They have to know how to trade. On a very long time frame, as you can see, nothing is changed on Bitcoin. We didn't hit 14K, but we still have time. We are still in the bear market. Nothing new on this time frame. On the weekly chart, as you can see, we are trying to, at that point, when I made this newsletter, we are trying to put a really nice W in this area. I guess now if we'll take a look, we have the W, but we need the candle body close at the end of the week. But as you can see, support area 14, 10K. We are the other side of the trend line. Don't chase. If you see the trend line, the price going the other side, wait for a clear W. We are in that mode now, and I guess we can get a nice bounce from if we'll get a clear W. Why not? On the daily chart, we have W's on this time frame. I said it from that point. At the Sunday, price was looking weak, and I didn't saw any continuation. I didn't saw any power from at least from Sunday standpoint of view. But you can see middle of the range, nice W. Yeah, if it's a W, you know what it means. At least if he has a bullish divergence, it's an okay sign to go up. The indicator, they are just confirming the price action at that point in time. On the 4-hour chart, I didn't like the fact that we had this range and a smaller range. And I said, at some point in time, we need some volatility. The volatility was out from the market. And I said, we have a W and let's hope for a retest of the top of the big range. And look at the price chart now. You can see we are 18.2, something like that. So we had that from Sunday until now, but I don't want to spoil the party, but look at this range. Look at this week. Yeah, we are retesting that, but if you are thinking range, not a good time to buy at this point. If you are long from 61.8, if you are long from this small range, if you got a W and you had a nice way to frame your risk, okay, really nice, enjoy the party. But if you are not long yet, don't chase, don't wait for a retracement, wait for a clear. Keep in mind, tomorrow we have actually today on my time zone, we have CPI, so a lot of news, inflation rate, core inflation rate, CPI. So seeing the market going so strong up before the news, it's like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. And I don't like to see market going up before the news. Yeah, we are strong. Yeah, we are going up. Nice if we are long from the bottom. But at this point, nothing to do. Just wait, at least after the CPI. Dominance on 4-day chart. You can see the range is the same. I don't see anything special on this one. We had a nice retest of this W, and my idea was just to see this W and then go up again. And in the same time, we just confirmed the big W. As you can see, this is a confirmed W at this point. We had a close above the middle of the W. Nice retracement, retest of this small one. I'm thinking long on Bitcoin dominance. Altcoins, you can see I have the Bitcoin dominance on one day chart, and I said Sunday, it's okay to hunt for swing trades on altcoins because we have a clear EM. We had a clear EM in 1-day chart. We had a nice breakdown, a nice retest of the M, and we are just breaking down at that point. So in this environment, I'm okay with hunting longs on altcoins. Ethereum versus Bitcoin at the top of the range in the short reload zone. Ethereum keeps up with Bitcoin, doesn't want to give anything back. We have the same level even now, even a bit higher. I was expecting a drop in this chart, but seems like we need to consolidate at the top of the range more. Let's see. We are still in the bear market. Let's see what happens. But at this point, Ethereum it's strong against Bitcoin. Total 2, as you can see, below reload zone, low, bottom of the range, and on 4-day chart. Let me see what I have. 1 second, maybe I missed up something. No, it's okay. So you can see how the total 2 looks at this point. I don't know until I see a clear W on 4-day chart or at least an 1-day chart, but I prefer 1-week chart to see a clear W the other side of the trend line. Nothing is changed in this market. Yeah, I like the fact that hold the level from the July. I like that, but we need a clear W the other side of the trend line for me to become bullish on the medium and long term.
You don't
Yeah,
see
nice bounce.
you don't see $7 trillion in the next 8 weeks.
Next week, wait 8 weeks. I don't know. We
I think
can
it's something
have.
like that, like into like. Oh, I just. What would July be? I guess July would be about 20 weeks.
I don't know. If you're lucky, we'll hit 1 trillion. But at least in my opinion, who damn knows what will happen? I don't know. But
Let's yeah, I mean maybe the guy's prediction is correct, but let's not put the cart before the horse.
yeah,
Let's
exactly.
break
Let's
that trend
step by
line.
step.
Let's put in a big fat W. Let's see some serious buying interest. And you know, I think, and actually this is an interesting question for both of you. Did you guys hear that they found $5 billion for that FTX thing?
I guess I heard something, but I didn't pay too much attention, Brian. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not interested about Solana. I'm avoiding even on Discord. People ask me, "How about Solana?" We said we have a setup. Just leave it alone. Why do you want to trade Solana when you have I don't know 4,000 or couple of hundreds of pairs on Binance to trade? Why do you want to trade Solana? I really don't understand that.
Well, it's probably because they are long. They're dying 1,000 deaths, and they're just hoping that you go,
The nice
yeah,
bounce.
Solana's a buy, man. It's going straight up.
Yeah, straight up from what? From what point will go straight up? That's the
Yeah.
problem. I have my limit order at $5, so I'm happy
Anyway, I
to buy
just
some Solana.
that gentleman's call that that total crypto is going to $7 trillion. I was like,
I guess that guy was joking.
I sure hope he was.
I guess was joking. Just a joke. And calendar, you can see I have the core inflation rate. Inflation rate. From some reason, CPI is with medium impact, not with high impact. But we have CPI also. Not too many news, but good, important enough to get some volatility. As you know me, I recommend closing any short-term trades before an important event. Just close the trade. If you are scalping, day trading, close everything. Even at the market price, just close everything. Hit the damn button, close everything, and wait until after the news. You can be a successful trader in the news 10 times in a row. And one single time, if you get an ugly slippage, you can destroy your account. So I don't think worth the risk to trade like that. So that's why I recommend don't trade in the news. I'm speaking from my experience. I messed up a couple of times. So even if Brian told me don't trade in the news, just close everything, I didn't listen. So now I know for sure not to do that. Some idea on altcoins I had Sunday. A lot of altcoins Sunday they look happy. I don't like to chase the market, so I look for some ideas where I had a good location. So lit or on versus USDT for 8 hours, you can see the price action. Nice W, nice location, exactly below 78.6. Yeah, I could work with that. So let's take a look now at lit and see what we have. Let's just put I don't know 4 hour chart. I guess is best, and just yeah, looks nice from when I said it's a buy. Nice retest. We didn't get a exactly retest at the entry point, but good enough. And now we can go up. We can go up, and when I put a sign like that, that means for me that I'll not have a hard take profit in the market. I'll control the trade from the stop loss part. So I'll just trail the stop loss in profit until I'll be stopped out. I'm trying this year to use that system, and I don't want me to put in front of the profit. If the market wants to give me more, why not? So that is one altcoin. The second one was Dent. Same idea on Dent is going up. Nice W, nice location. We had some. I don't have it on this image because I want people to see clearly the levels, but nice nice W, nice location, nice bullish divergence. Was in a good location at that point for an entry. And the last one was RSR. I was hoping for a retracement in the long reload zone and then to pick me up. I didn't get that. So I'm still waiting. I'll adapt my limit order to hit the 61.8, but this level, you can see this level is still a good level. Even though the market will go up, we'll probably retrace and retest this initial W. So now a lot of altcoins, they look happy. Don't chase, just let this bounce to stop. And if you are still bullish and if you want, yeah, just draw your reload zone, just wait in the reload zone. I don't think it's the right environment for a pump chaser zone, not yet. But you can put the pump chaser zone on the chart. You can see, if you see bullish divergence, if you see a nice W on the pump chaser zone, yeah, you can, I don't know, risk 0.5% on a scalp, on a even a swing trade. If you want to hunt something, wait at least pump chaser zone. But in pump chaser zone, be damn sure you have enough confluences to point out to the long side if you want to go long. Still hard mode, at least Sunday. Even now it's hard mode. Yesterday I had an ugly day. I tried to hunt on the scalping level on 5-15 minute chart, and the market just throw me up and down and left and right, and I didn't manage to make any profit. And after shake me out, now is really up. I want to see this chart every damn time I do the weekly newsletter. Why? I want to remember myself that 2023 it's a buying opportunity. Keep in mind, I do this weekly newsletter for Crypto Traders Arena community, but I do it first for me. I like to do Sunday a nice review to keep me in check for the next week, to know exactly where I am, where I want to hunt some setups. So I'm doing this newsletter for me. So I want this chart to remember me that we are in 2023 and it's a nice buying opportunity this year. And as well as treat trading like a business, and market will treat you like a king. Something nice, I even posted on Twitter. I managed to get an entry. I don't know if I'm an ape. You tell me that. Something like that. I had this one. I entered on AVAX exactly in the news with the collaboration with Amazon. I managed to get a nice profit on that one. Let's just put the chart. Let's see AVAX. Yes, to see it. Okay, I guess it's okay. So my idea was I saw the news on Twitter, but I given too much attention. And at some point, someone from the community said, "Yeah, AVAX is pumping because it has a collaboration with Amazon, and it's a big deal." And I said in my mind, "Let's take a look. Let's just take a look at the chart." And the FOMO guy from inside me said, "Yeah, look at this W. Yeah, you are chasing, but take a look at this W. You have a way to frame your risk, so you can put a stop loss in here and just enter at this level." And I just did that. Now I have a free position because I moved my stop at the entry point. If the news is real, market will probably go up even more. If the news is fake or it's something different what people expect, this chart will go all the way back to the bottom of the at this level at $10, I guess. So I have a risk-free position. Is the best way to ride this one. If it wants to go higher, if we take a look at daily, let's just put something. I don't have any reason to think to close the trade now. It's a risk-free position. Let's see. The market, yeah, could stop at this level, could stop at this level, could stop at this level, but we can do an Wyckoff check even up to this level. So I don't know. I'm a trader. I have a small edge every damn time I'm entering a trade. My edge now on this trade, it's I have a risk-free position. And one a guy from the Twitter called from Discord called me educated ape. I guess on this trade I was an educated ape, but it's a trade. I manage my risk, so I'm okay with that. If I put 1% in a trade and I have a way to define my risk, and I'm risking 1%, doesn't matter if I toss a coin. I'm managing my risk, so it's okay to win 2% or to lose 1%. That was from my part, Brian. If people have questions for me, please let me know.
Oh, it's all good. I mean, we've got an open forum here. I don't know how many people we got on the 20, 30 people. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. It's fascinating, I'll tell you, Paul. It's adorable. But I often see this happen where you're going through, like you were talking about how you were going to manage trades going forward. And one of our modules in the advanced program, the level 3 program, is all about stop management. And I think it would behoove you just to maybe we should all pitch in and we'll buy Paul the level 2 and level 3 program.
It's not about money, it's about time and will to do the level.
Well, we can save you a lot of headache because there are actually specific methodologies that we teach in the level 3 program on how to manage stops, and basically you're doing the 3 high low method.
No, I'm doing something different sometimes. I'm using 1 hour or 2 hours to, depending on the volatility of the market, and I'm really profitable with that system.
Hey, keep on rocking it. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, you know, my funny anecdotes about Julian. I've been working with Julian now for 8 years. And he's just on his own gone and figured out a lot of the stuff that we teach in the education program. It's just every trader's got to follow their own journey. There's nothing wrong with it. If anything, it's good to see you making progress and you feeling good about your approach. So PMA for the win. And, you know, like that AVAX trade, nicely done there. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was a nice trade from my part, but luckily I had a guy from the Discord group just tell me about that. Remember me, because I saw the tweet. Someone posted a tweet, but I didn't. Too many tweets. I was looking at some chart. No, I didn't give it attention. But when I saw it the second time, I said, let's take a look. The guy said, yeah, it's only, I don't know, 5% or 10% up after the news. And I said, yeah, it's a pretty important news. Let's take a look.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do see quite a few bottoms coming in across a lot of these altcoins.
Yeah.
Also, too, you know, I think
they are too high for my taste.
Yeah, a lot of people are discounting the as a market participant who's been at this for decades, and a guy who used to run like a book of brokerage business. So you can sort of see the money flows from the other side of the equation, right? The guy who's actually answering the phone and placing the orders. I think it's really important to understand that seasonally, this is the behavior that you're seeing in the crypto market now, and actually, ironically enough, the broader market, it's acting very seasonally appropriate. So this is what's supposed to happen at the beginning of the year. The only question ultimately is how much of a dip do we have once sort of the euphoria burns off. Like I said, we're going through the January barometer. In fact, there is specifically and I don't want to give you the... Anyway, it's called the January effect. And quite literally, junior names, and I would imagine in the crypto space, it's probably exactly the same. The junior stocks, venture cap stocks, often get beaten into the ground into the end of the year. And if you pull up almost any, altcoin, and really even, crypto in general, it kind of got beat up into the end of the year there. So we are actually seeing a very normal behavioral pattern out of venture capital coming right out of the gate. in the new year. And if anything, what would behoove us all is to create sort of a leaderboard, an outperformance grid, like the AVAX trade you just talked about there. The names that are catching money now at the very beginning of the year, they will be flying when we get into sort of the top of the market, middle of the summer kind of idea, where all the kids are in mom's basement trading away crypto on their computers. So I would make a mental note. Everybody should have their journals out, and everybody should be sort of diarizing. Like, I'm curious. These are two names that I have not heard of before. LIT and DENT. Do you figure that these are two names that are probably going to be leaders down the road here in this space?
No, I just I looked from my list, and I saw this accumulation. I saw this W, really really nice bullish divergence. I like that. That's why I present this list last week.
Yeah.
With this one, waiting on this one.
Well,
You can see.
whatever these names are, like I said, and your community of traders, they're pretty smart guys in this space.
Yep.
So if you've got a list of names that are fundamentally sexy, as you had pointed out with the Benner cycle, and all of you should be very familiar with that Benner cycle. This is the accumulation zone. If you want to be driving your Lambos, in through the 24-25 bull market, I think it would behoove all of us to make damn sure you're taking profits into sort of November, December 2025. But now's when you actually have to start stepping up and start identifying the names that you think have good fundamental stories and that are going to be leaders in this space going forward. Now's the time to do it, folks. Get off your butts and start building your shopping list. And start, like you're humming and hawing, and, I don't know whether you cautioned the crypto trader arena people to cool their jets last year. But when we first got this show going, a huge function of us was just like, Nick, and actually Nick was the one who sort of said, this is like hard mode. I don't want to participate. I'll come back when it goes back to easy mode. Well, they've gotten rid of all the fluff. And now I believe we are fast approaching within the next 6-8 months. Actually, you're doing a very good job of charting today. So, Adam would like to throw on Atom, ATOM, on your screen. And I know that Sjord in particular, he really likes this thing. So I guess it's probably a little bit late to chase this thing here, but interesting how strong. Like that's a pretty strong up move there.
Yeah, nothing to do for me at this point.
Yeah, can't really touch that. So Adam, you're gonna have to cool your jets on Atom. Nice bull div there. Wow, gee whiz, look at that bull div.
I like that, but no. Too high for my taste.
Well, and now it's this is a good example of one where you could probably draw like a trend line off of those peaks, and we're probably now going to be playing with that trend line. And if anything, what you'd like to see, like we're probably going to tag that trend line, and then you would like to see the market calm down following that, and then do a reload zone going the other direction. And my hunch is probably that last consolidation zone is probably going to be where the next sort of bottom comes in. Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Just like that. See how easy this technical analysis stuff is? It's so simple.
Yeah.
So, if anything, maybe we could throw that into the spreadsheet, because that's probably a good name to keep an eye on. But the only problem is you can't really go and buy that right now. If anything, what I would do is draw a line from the middle of that M and connect it to the highs from December, and that trend line will probably be the line that this thing finds support on. I would go off of the low. You had, that low, And actually, interesting, it's almost going to be a horizontal line there. And now I would do the next high. Yeah, right in there. So probably something along those lines. That would be the level I would keep an eye on. My hunch is this thing goes up and it probably even goes through the trend line here. But our rule, of course, is that we can't take that trade on the playing with the trend line. We have to wait for a W on the other side. So, the public will come get, sucked into the long side of the market right up around that trend line. And unfortunately, after that, we'll have to have the market calm down and, come back down to earth. So, you can, anyway, so that's one. Adam can't really touch that there right now. He also asked us to look at QNT. I wonder what that looks like.
What I have here? I have to get rid of this one.
All right, QNT USDT. What do we think of that? Well, I'll be curious. Paul, give us your 2 cents. What do you see there?
I see a W, but I don't like the location. But it's stronger than the rest. As you can see, yeah, we have this. We had a W. Now we are putting another W in this area. Yeah, if you'll retest this W, yeah, you can hunt a setup at this point. Let's see indicators. I don't see a problem with hunting along if the overall market is bullish. But I guess needs more consolidation at these levels. And for the long term, yeah, for a trade, yeah, but for the long term, we need to retest this area. You can see this initial W. We are still in the bear market, at least to touch this one. At this point, yeah, it's up. It's stronger than the rest, but keep in mind the bear market will break any altcoin. Okay. I don't like to chase. It's a bit high for my taste to hunt that W, but yeah, I could see myself playing around because I have a nice way to frame my risk. I'll put my entry at this level, at my stop loss. I don't know if here or at this week, and hunting 2 to 1. I have 2 to 1 until this initial AM, so it's okay. I have 2 to 1. I have some location. I have some bullish divergence. I now have a nice W. It's okay. But for an investor, no. I need lower levels to start nibbling. At least my view.
Yep, that's fine.
Even if I don't know this
I don't
trend
know what
line.
The fundamental story is here, Adam. If you have some sort of catalyst, some sort of, well, they're going to be planning on doing this project, that project. Those are the kind of things that they often rally these things into.
If they have news and I don't know, and next month, next 2 months, yeah, definitely could go higher, but eventually we'll go back down and retest these lows. In my view, in my experience.
Yeah. Jason Butler says, "What a night, boom." Okay, thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Juan Jun says, "Most of these coins will retrace 99%. I'd actually say they probably already have retraced 99%. Look at where the tops are. I mean, like this thing, is that not 90% down from the peak? It's got to be pretty close.
It's exactly at take a look at this one. It's at the level before the bull run from 2020. So, a bounce was overdue. We needed a bounce from this level. It's something normal, but that doesn't mean we are in a bull market.
Right. Well said. I mean, if anything, what I've noticed in the TRI lounges, we're getting a lot of people, banging out doubles. So you can kind of see on this, if anybody had the balls to step in there like a month or so ago, they'd be banging out a double right now. Is that the kind of market?
This one is about IE and all the hype. That's why it's so high.
Yeah, well, and that's also a good point too, right? Sjord was telling us that the artificial intelligence oriented names are catching a bid? Is it because they are so wonderful and they're awesome products that are going to revolutionize the world? Or is it just sort of a short-term sort of euphoria within the space, and people are just, if you happen to have AI association, boom, your name catches a bid instantly. And I think that's more of what's going on than anything else.
I tested the chat GDP.
Oh yeah, what did you think of it?
Yeah, he told me how to make a plan for trading. So it's
did it?
Yeah,
That would be cool.
and a good one. A good one.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I posted a tweet about it. Yeah, a good plan, a really nice one. So I'm okay with that.
Oh, all right. Well, probably the best thing they should say is, well, ChatGPT recommends you go to this place called the Rational Investor. That would be great, eh? Wouldn't that be funny?
It does learn from feedback, so maybe we can just spam it with a bunch of feedback.
There you go, eh? Yeah, yeah. You know, like, is it actually intelligent, or is it just running algorithms that happen to search for keywords and key phrases and stuff like that? And
I don't think it's too intelligent. I don't know if he thinks by himself, but he's adapting really quickly. Because if I ask a question and after that I don't like the answer and I said, no, I want something else, or I want something different, I want something, he will give me a new answer adapting to my question. So it's good enough for me.
All right. Well, be sure to ask him which setup is producing the best results and pass that on.
I don't think he has the answer for that.
Okay.
Not that specific. Not yet, at least.
Yeah. So this FET, it's an AI play, eh?
Yeah.
And actually, Ben, this is I'm thinking it's kind of down your alley. It'd be interesting if you had a list of these AI names that you're sort of following.
I don't have it. I have it on the Discord, but I don't have it. I have to search it again because someone posted something like that on maybe next week.
Okay, well, that's not a bad idea. That's kind of cool, and we could maybe throw that into the app. That would be kind of a fun addition. I don't know. Reach out to me through the week if you, or maybe just post in our little room on Rocket Chat, and I can work away on that. So that's kind of a good idea. All right. All right. Somebody else asked us to look at YFI. Yeah, YearnFi. I don't know what that is.
Well,
you know what that is? YFI. TBG wants us to look at that. Wi-Fi YearnFi. I don't know what that is.
No, IFI. I'll take a look.
All right. Hey, there's Millennial Insights giving us a list of names to chew on there. So
this one is definitely cheap.
Wow, yeah, look at that, eh?
If you
this
zoom
thing
out,
came down from a gazillion dollars, eh? Look at that.
Yeah, 95.
And now
almost
it's
100K.
Wow.
Yeah, this one is, I don't know, 10,000 coins or something like that.
Well, if that W came on fire, then away we go.
Yeah. You can see the location. We are below 78.6, so.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, when it corrects even more than reload zones, that's not really a good sign.
Yeah. Give me a clear W the other side of this trend line, please.
Yeah.
I'll start something.
And actually it'd be interesting, will DeFi and all the darlings of that last cycle, will they be the leaders of this new cycle?
I don't think so. Honestly.
Or is it going to be something else? And I got a funny feeling. Isn't Alan part of that whole AI GBT thing or whatever the hell it is?
He's behind on everything is trending these times.
Yeah. So you might find that you know, and that's probably one of the reasons why Doge is hanging in pretty well, because I think if anything he's trying to get it used on Twitter now. And I also noticed too that he's really promoting the whole subscription thing to Twitter. So it's fascinating how he's transforming the platform from sort of a anybody can use it to it's probably going to be a subscription based model that you have to use. Be curious to see how he incorporates the Doge over the coming years. But anyway. Juan Jun asks, is this like a ETF of DeFi or something? That Wi-Fi? What is it? How do you describe that YFI? Probably Ben actually probably is the best one to answer that. Do you know how this thing, how you would describe Wi-Fi?
I used to, but there's there's so many that have quite similar names that I would probably mess it up. Let me ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
There's the answer. So
Doesn't have,
Millennial Insight says no. YFI is farming strategies. Hey, there's that great Del Moody guy. YFI is short for Yearn Finance. It's some kind of DeFi play. So
yeah.
There you go.
I'll trust Dalmoody on that one. So if Dalmoody says it's something about this one, I trust his opinion and this kind of.
All right. Well, that should help. Thank you, great Dalmoody. Okay, so is this what ChatGPT says? Whatever the hell that thing is. Did you just ask it?
Yeah.
All right. So here's your answer. Why? Oh, do you want to read it off, Ben? You probably say it better.
Wi-Fi is short for Yearn Finance. It's a decentralized finance DeFi protocol built on Ethereum blockchain. It's an automated market maker that enables users to trade cryptocurrencies in a decentralized manner without the need for a central authority.
There you go. So Dalmoody,
he had it. Yeah, he's quicker than ChatGPT. Let's put him on
more efficient
on a website.
So the question that I've always had for these things is, how do you actually determine what the value of one of these YFIs actually is? Does it have to have any value?
I don't know. I could determine the price, but the value, no.
Right. I mean, I might argue that with a lot of these cryptocurrencies, especially, for whatever it's worth, I would distinctly remember every time Ethereum's price goes through the roof, Vitalik gets all pissed off. And he's saying, you're making my supercomputer too expensive to use. So I don't know whether a lot of these places even have like any value to the actual asset, and it's just purely nothing more than just momentum. Adam says, of course, it has a low coin count, so that's one of the added features.
Yeah.
I suppose, that's the one reason why I like POW, is that at least you can come up with some sort of value metric for what one of these things is actually worth. But it clearly is I see that they're trying to move away from that model as we move into this growth phase of our society. And ironically enough, to justify the move away from POW, the 1% that really manipulate all of us with BlackRocks and all that nonsense, they're going to really shill how environmentally unfriendly POW is. That's going to be their angle to sort of vilify POW, which opens up a whole can of worms unto itself. So anyway. All right. So great questions, great answers. Nice community participation here from our chatters and our panel here. Millennial Insight has a few names. Actually, maybe we should build up a list there. I might even add that. RLC, geez, I remember RLC. Man, I made some great money on that in past cycles. I haven't even looked at half of these things that I banged out bazillions of doubles on last go round. Let's see what RLC looks like. Sitting at $1.40, so actually it's come back down to earth. Actually, this one, oh my goodness. Do you have OBV on your setup there, Paul? Because this is a really, really good example of the power of OBV. I mean, you tell me, is money flowing into this name or is money flowing out?
Out.
What?
I'm just joking. Someone is buying, slowly accumulating this one.
That's ridiculous.
At some point, this chart could look something, I don't know, something like that, and the price to be all the way up at $100, even higher.
Easily.
And this one, just a small bump in the chart at some point in future. So
yeah. So I made lots of doubles on this thing in past bull cycles. It looks to me like it's time to step back in on this thing hard here. Fascinating.
Yeah, why not?
So are these guys are in the AI space as well?
I don't know.
I guess I'm asking Mr.
You're asking
Millennial Insight. Sorry.
I guess Dalmoody will know what it's all about.
Yeah, I suppose Mr. Dalmoody might as well. Let's see. Crypto. Well, I'm definitely going to throw it back on the list. I haven't been in RLC in forever. Millennial Insight says yes. All right, there you go. Well, anyway, I've always liked RLC. In fact, I did a video with Da Vinci. Actually, this is a great segue. So I'm going to. What you got there? Yeah, that. I mean, woo-wee, look at that. Is that RSI? What's the white indicator you got there?
This one?
Yeah.
RSI, yeah, on
Jesus,
weekly chart.
Look at that, eh? Damn.
Nice W, nice
Is that
above
through
50
the,
line.
that's a W through the 50 line too. God damn.
Yeah, and a nice retest.
Yeah, if you ever listen to me and my rants about RSI, using RSI, that is a very big signal there on that thing.
Nice consolidation, nice W.
I got a feeling there's our pick for the week.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
if you risk into the lows, I don't know. Yeah, but if you put the reward in perspective, it's good enough to hunt at this level.
Ocean, OCEAN.
Yeah, the same. Ocean, yeah, let me see.
These are just all the names that these guys are giving us. Yeah, good looking again. Look at that OBV. Jesus. So, this is your tell. And I remember actually one of the first students I had. He's a very, very wealthy individual, landed aristocracy now in Germany, of all places. He swore by OBV. Says, I only need one indicator on my screen. And if I see OBV divergence, just go and buy it. Just don't even think about it. Just go and buy it. Because somebody is loading up on this. So here's another one. This Ocean versus Tether. Somebody's buying it.
And it's damn cheap.
Hey, damn cheap. I love that. Damn cheap. Damn glad to meet you. What movie is that from? I am, what the hell is his name? I can't remember his name. Anyway, I'm blah, blah, blah. Damn glad to meet you. Let's see if anybody remembers what movie that's from.
No, I'm not that old.
That movie came out in about 1980.
Yeah.
70s? Maybe late 70s. Anyway. Greg, what the hell? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a line from Animal House, if you know what movie that is. And the president of the fraternity. Damn glad to meet you. All right, moving on. Not quite sure why I went off on that tangent. All right, so Ocean is another name that's in that space. We also have RNDR. What's that one? RNDR. You don't get any names. All you get is Jesus. Look at the OBV on that one. That's what she said.
Yeah, you have to share your screen. People will still see my screen.
Yeah. Well, I'm sharing. I'm letting you do the charting today, but I suppose you want me to do some charting now?
Yeah, I need my nicotine.
I need my screen back, Brian.
Honestly, I need my nicotine. That's the problem.
Oh, he wants to go for a smoke, man. See, that explains everything. All right. Okay, so which one is it? I think it's this one. Right now, Paul, you can go have a dart. Let us know when you're back. All right, so this is another one of Millennial Insights, giving us a nice. I'm telling you, folks, Millennial Insight's giving you a nice little mutual fund you could build here. So here's another example. I don't think this is necessarily a divergence because we never did go to new lows here on this thing. But you can clearly see somebody is accumulating the crap out of this thing. It's just buy, keep buying. And of course you can see there's a big honking weekly W that's working. Let's see where this thing actually came from. Here, let's... and I am, for whatever it's worth, I ironically enough, actually, I respect all you and the audience as actually probably better crypto traders than I ever will be. And you will also know the fundamental stories way better than I could. So you can see I'm building my list of your ideas here. Now, I mean, could I actually go and... Whoops. That Litecoin, eh? Jesus. Wasn't that incredible how a while ago we were all rah bullish to Litecoin? And when I went on social media and said, I think Litecoin's moving higher here, man, that ran into a lot of resistance. People really didn't like that. And yet, fuck, this thing just... look at that. It just keeps surging to new highs. Anyway, back to our story here. And by the way, if you are watching this, you want to know, you're like, what the hell does a bullish divergence look like? I even put a tweet out to this effect, and I even said in the tweet, this is going to be like this has got to be one of the most powerful indicators of accumulation of this asset is a hell of a lot stronger than what price would lead you to believe, is when you get these divergences in price and OBV. Just insane. And of course, this is a daily chart, but I squawk at you guys all the time about weekly W's. I swear, so I could literally teach a course off of this one chart. It's everything that I teach you guys, or at least I try to teach you guys. So now you can see we're actually getting down, up, down. We're getting a full W on the other side of this trend line now too. I don't know. And I even asked this question a while ago. Where the hell is Charlie? He's awfully quiet. Now, I don't know whether he actually left the story or not. But man, geez, what a good-looking little altcoin. And, this is the kind of name that's going to totally fly underneath the radar. So, anyway, but that's not the point of this conversation. The point of this conversation was to look at this little guy. Let's see what we got here. And, yes, I know screen resolution's probably shitty, and my apologies. We'll just try our best. All right, so this particular guy, let's see where the heck he came from. Oh my goodness. So I don't know what all this is. Obviously this is your euphoric peak. A lot of these names, of course, came to market through that fall of 21 sort of insanity. This. When you heard this time it's different and all that kind of talk. I might argue just as simple as terms. There is your prevailing trend line. This thing's a buy when you can get a W on the other side of the trend line. So we finally went and W'd out. It's interesting how they took these lows out, but they couldn't take these lows out. Probably a nice another W down in here would be quite agreeable. It looks like this. Oh, yep, that low right there is lower than that low. And that low is lower than that low. And that low is actually just about the same as that. It's not a bad looking name, I'll tell you that much. And weekly. This is also a good example of that tax loss selling stuff I was telling you about. You notice this thing tried to bottom and then big dump into November, December. And this was probably people who did buy this up here. And then maybe they've got gains somewhere else. Maybe it's Apple, computer stock. Who knows? Maybe Bitcoin. And they don't want to pay the taxes on that win. So they go look through their portfolio. And into the end of the year, they just find anything that's lower than what they bought it at. And they just hit the bid. So into the end of the year, you can often get some fantastic deals. Trending wise, this is why I really love this moving average relationship system. You can see still haven't turned back up. when the 13 EMA is comfortably above the 30 SMA, you'll know that this trend has turned back up. That hasn't come in just yet. If anything, it's probably a little bit early still. But nonetheless, AI related, it'll be interesting. Is this a theme for this particular part of the cycle? Maybe, maybe. I can absolutely tell you right now, this is not Sedona Euphoria. Sedona Euphoria is at the top, like that Litecoin. Interesting, Litecoin actually has two very distinct Sedona Euphoria events. This was a Sedona Euphoria event, and this was a Sedona Euphoria event. And I actually have to tell you, the fact that we have such a well-defined trading range here on this name means if we ever go and close above this level, this thing is going to go absolutely insane. I mean, you want to see something startling, which I think is actually completely legitimate, is if we hold these lows, and it looks like we are, then what that means is if we go up through these highs, paging Mr. Foggenbaum, these numbers just start to get a little crazy. $1,000 on Litecoin at 2.618. And my hunch is this thing, 4669, $1,700. And of course, these things usually exhaust themselves at 877s, which is about 35, what about $3,400. That's not unrealistic. That RLC, kind of same sort of thing. And unfortunately, and this sort of comes full circle, if you actually believe, let's go over here. Remember I was showing you this earlier. And it was a great conversation Stephen and I had. The site members really enjoyed it. But if you actually believe in... where the hell is Stephen? Oh, and he's back. All right. Well, that's good. If you want to ask Paul a question, feel free to ask. He is back. Where did Stephen's post go? That's kind of weird. Thought I maybe... How do I see... I guess I should have retweeted his tweet. Oh, well. Oops. Let's see if I can spell Stephen. I think this is Steven. That looks like a Steven picture. Yeah. So if you believe any of this, I better retweet this. And really what I would just simply say, kind of exactly what he sort of said here. Oh, can I not retweet that? Oh, isn't that kind of weird? I don't know how the heck this works. But if you believe, and I've actually put tweets out to this effect. I want to retweet this. Why is it I can't retweet that? What the hell is wrong with this damn thing? Times this tweet was seen. I don't give a crap about that. How do you... look at that. I can't retweet this thing. Wonder why not. That sucks. Why can I not retweet you, Stephen? I'd say I would retweet, but Alan won't let me. Anyway, it should be then in my, if I got tweets and replies. All right, there it is. Anyway. So, I've actually, and you know, this is kind of a side note, but this does help the crypto bull story. This is what I think is actually going to happen here. So this is 1970s and early 1980s with Newmont Mining. This is the biggest gold stock in the world. And look what it did all through the Ronald Reagan presidency. I mean, just absolutely insane. And interesting enough, I know this is impossible to see, and somebody reminded me, you know. Actually, that's what I wanted to mention that earlier. But anyway, the point here is if you do a Google search, inflation from 1940 to 1949, that was the reference I made earlier, you'll see that in 1947, oh my goodness, that's actually when the real crisis is about to happen. What you think right now is inflation is bad, it's nothing compared to what's coming down the pike, which really sucks horse you-know-whats. Thank you, central planners. Thank you, substitute drama teachers who fancy themselves commie dictators, I guess. It's going to be a tough slog. But the point here is, you guys are all expecting Bitcoin to go to $1 million. Well, in this scenario, I can actually see that happen. That's not unrealistic. The only problem is it's going to cost you $500,000 for a goddamn loaf of bread. But anyway. So, point here is, what the hell is my point? Oh yeah, well, Stephen and I had a great conversation in the daily brief today, where I think we're on the same page, where we're thinking we could see pretty dramatic increase in inflationary pressures, 2027, 2028, and if anything, we're all expecting Bitcoin to do its crazy next crazy big move. 2025 into the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, and Bitcoin's a fabulous leading indicator, so it makes perfect sense. Anyway, I gotta tell you, when I look at this Bitcoin chart, something that jumps out at me is, if we just do some simple trend line analysis, play connect the dots, that kind of line and this kind of line. I think you can say that we're kind of stuck in this sort of trend line sandwich. And if you think about trend lines and the way that they like to be tagged, and of course our rules about, we want to see a break and then structure on the other side of the trend line. I really do like the fact that I remember back, and I thought it was back here. It's interesting how some of these markets have the market moving to new lows and some don't. But if we go here to here, and then I think this is the lowest low here. Then we come up into 88.6. Where is that? That is right in there. Oops, hiccup, and it jumps right there. It'd be interesting to get Steven's input on this. But that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is... in our library, we have our Harmonic. We have got a whole bunch of cheat sheets from the interneting. One of the things we have a Harmonic pattern cheat sheet, which is this. And actually, Stephen was the one who did a lot of the commentary on this cheat. But if we scroll down here to the bat pattern, right? Zoom in. Down here. The bearish bat, notice at least a 38.2 to a 50% retracement from X to A to B. Can be 38.2 all the way down to 88.6, the A to B to C. And then probably the most important level here is the D point should be about 88.6. So if we go back to this Bitcoin chart, so X to A to B, remember we said 38.2 to 50%, so 48.3, that's in there. And remember we said A to B to C, 38.2 to 88.6, so 71.9, that's fine. Nice little double bottom, sets up the rally. And of course this is a harmonic unto itself. We showed you that chart earlier and the question was, would we stall out there? I don't think we're getting any indicator confirmation that we're going to stall out here. So if that's the case, then really, this is a really good example. What I teach in the program is look left. So you can see this is a huge battle zone right here. If we do clear through this high, and frankly speaking, I don't see how we can't. But if we do clear through this high, then you look left. And wow, look at that. That's all open air all the way up into these highs. So kind of like those other names that we were looking at, and I was kind of suggesting, well, we're probably going to rally up into trendline resistance. Believe it or not, something like that is not unrealistic in my eyes whatsoever. The only problem is if you do actually buy that there, what do you have to risk to? What's realistic? And frankly speaking, you could see the market come all the way right back against these lows here. That wouldn't surprise me. It would probably invalidate this harmonic, but it wouldn't surprise me. So if you did buy here, in fact, what we teach people is this W here, right in here, this is actually what we call the noob stop, because most new people to trading will put their stop loss here. And the market will come down, it'll flush them out, it will not take out these lows, then it'll turn right back up and away you go, and all these people get all pissed off. So if you do buy here, it means you got to risk all the way down to these lows. And you can kind of see that that's almost like an equal risk-reward ratio. So I don't think that trade's actually really in anybody's best interest to take that trade. Because, upside objectives are here. You're going to go long here, and you got to risk down to here. Well, I got to say, this box looks bigger than this box. So can't really buy there, folks. Sucks. I hope you're long, and I hope you're enjoying the ride. But there are a number of names that we've seen here tonight where it's just like you can't chase now if you didn't buy the W. And the cool part about this, really learn from this, people. Anybody who's watching through the coming week. I remember distinctly we had a conversation, I guess a few weeks ago, where Brian said, well, I see a higher high here and higher lows, although I'm not quite sure why I didn't see this low as being lower. It's a bit of an amateur mistake on my part, but I was still thinking uppy here. Paul said, I'm thinking we're probably going to stall out here, and that was a beautiful call. Then, if I understand correctly, Paul actually drew out like a 61.8 retracement and snuck back in on the long side on that, right down in here. Is that correct, Paul? You're back yet? Are you here?
Yeah, even on spot market, actually.
So I'm not quite sure why he bailed on his longs, but I think you got to stay long here. But anyway, point here
I'm a day I could jump back in no time.
You got junk in your trunk? What are you saying?
No, I could jump right in back in the trade if I want. I'm a day trader, so I'll find the low time frame W to enter again.
All right. Well, there's always that too. This is a bit dangerous up here buying. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I took my profit. It's good enough for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So, if anything, I like the fact that, this is your sort of window that we're staring at over the short term. Exactly where this thing tops out up in this window, I don't know. I will say that if we do clear through here on ahead of steam, look left, this all becomes open air all the way right up to that high there. And how ironic, what they're probably going to do is they're going to shoot for this 20,000 area, which markets love to move towards psychological levels. And this is what I would call, and we want to put it right on the nose. This is what I would call a, BFRN. What the hell does BFRN stand for? It stands for big, fat, round number. And markets love to run towards these big, fat, round numbers. In the dot-com boom, the market ran towards 10,000 on the Dow, and that was a huge psychological magnet. Probably none of you remember that. I was joking with the kids in the lounge today. I remember sitting in a manager's office watching the stock market break out in 1995 when the Dow crossed through 3,100, and sitting in the manager's office and the bank stocks were all going crazy. Anyway. So, there's your sort of outlook. right now you're kind of chasing. You're a little bit late to the trade, and there's a lot of names. Like that Litecoin that I showed you there a moment ago. It's pretty tough to justify coming in and buying that now, mind you. I suppose from the weekly basis, it's not that bad. But ironically enough, there is your base. I might even argue that you could probably even now start, just exactly what I was showing you earlier with those other altcoins. Just simply draw a reload zone. Notice, we always say wicks and tails like to be eaten. You got that big old honking tail in there. Probably a whole bunch of trap bears that would love to get released. 78.6 against these candle body lows. So, when this rally does exhaust itself, and I actually fully expect this to probably start to peter out maybe the middle of February, if I'm not mistaken. There's some sort of, I don't know, there's some sort of cold or flu virus or something going on in China right now. I don't know whether any of you have heard about that. But something about some sort of flu sickness or something. They tried to lock everybody in their prison cells for the past couple of years to contain it, and of course, their vaccines and stuff are garbage, so it didn't work. And now they've just said, "Fuck it, everybody's gonna get sick with this thing." So there you go. So. Once that actually starts to spill over into North America, I have a funny feeling all of these markets, including the stock market, are all going to be like, oh my God, here we go again. I don't know whether we actually go to new lows or not. Only time will tell, but strap on your seatbelts, folks. It's going to be a wild ride. So how do you get markets to come back down into reload zones? Well, it might, and if anything, we often say, and I think it's an excellent barometer, I like these kind of like reload zone stabs against original market structures. We call this the shark setup on this site. We used to have a couple traders on the site who absolutely love this. And actually, one trader that we had on the site, and his name affectionately on the site was Kavarkin, because for some stupid reason I warmed up to calling him Kavark, because it's his name plus shark. But he was famous for buying this dip against market structure bottom right there. And if anything, this is what we kind of want, is we want price of Bitcoin and the price of these alts to dip back down and just be absolute panic dump. And it has absolutely nothing to do with crypto itself. That's what we want. That is the ultimate buying window. And this dip here, of course, had everything to do with Chinese sicknesses, and not really anything to do with Bitcoin whatsoever. So if we can get that kind of scenario again, and of course, what do you think? Was Mr. Kavarkinator's buy here a good idea? I mean, of course, hindsight's 2020. Can you imagine if you could actually go into social media and post, "This is where I bought Bitcoin"? I mean, wouldn't you love to show that to your friends? I mean, holy crap, Is that Kevin there? Double uses. Is that Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking A. I tell you, man, Kevin, that's a trade that I would tell my grandkids about. That was such an incredible trade there. This is exactly what I want to see all of you do. So just the simple fact that I took a guy that basically didn't understand this and got him to the point where he could do this means I did everything that Spirit asked me to do. And this project was a success. So let's see who the next Kavarkinator is going to be. And maybe it's Kavarkinator again. He trades circles around us. I don't know. So, here we are. Maybe we get a big pop here over the next week. Who knows? And then we get that crazy ass dip. And I mean, kind of like what Paul was showing you. on all your assets, the best thing you can do as a trader is just keep dragging your fib tool right back up to wherever the rally ultimately is, and just keep an eye on your reload zones. And if we do rally right back to the trend line here, which would be common sense, notice there's 78.6 right against those candle body lows. I mean, this stuff writes itself. So anyway, that's what we're staring at. Ben, you've been awfully quiet here tonight. What's on your mind? What are you thinking about all this stuff? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I think it's all great. Always love watching Paul's report and hearing what's going on. I mean, I've been working away, making a little script.
Cool.
That's been something new in my life. It's
Do you want to screen
share?
Do you want to show?
Different look.
Do you want to show?
I mean, sure. If you want to.
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to walk you through it.
You are a valued contributor to this project, sir. So let's pop on over to Ben's screen. I'll stop presenting. And we did give you about 4 or 5 names there for you guys to chew on here. So you can't say we didn't look at a few names. But maybe let's pop on over to Ben's world and see what he's working on.
Cool.
I don't know. You people over on YouTube, are you enjoying this? You going to throw us a couple Rons? There's 30 of you watching and only 13 likes. Come on, you guys. At the very least, let's hit the thumbs up button for Paul. And Ben. All right, so there's Brian. Looks like you're...
One thing I did see this week, I'm not sure, did you catch that Larry Williams?
Yep. And actually, you had on that. Yeah. Okay. So.
I really like that 60-year cycle that he put on.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put myself on mute. You tell us what's on your mind, sir.
I mean, this was more just I didn't really have a lot to say about it, but I just thought that lined up really well with the Benner cycle. But I think he did mention there was a study about it being to do with seasonality and weather patterns, and I know that the Benner cycle kind of played into that over long periods of time as well. So it'd be interesting to see how the effect of ultimately weather patterns and 60-year cycles has an effect on the price of Bitcoin and where it might potentially bottom out or go into its next rally, which from everything we've kind of been studying and looking at, kind of heading into middle to end of this year, finding a bit of a bottom, and then in the background, I just put it on the Bitcoin price chart, but I know it's like an S&P maybe this kind of 60-year cycle that he did, and obviously that this isn't the actual, like, it's not going to go down to $1.30 or whatever, but just a visual, very crude way of copying and pasting from right. Yeah, it's on its own timing, but then it's kind of part of the whole rhythm of how all things are kind of moving up and down at the same time. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So Brian, Great Milk Del Moody just said that you're muted. I don't know if you can be heard on YouTube, but
yeah, thanks for catching that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Whoops.
That's all right.
I don't know what you guys overheard on YouTube, but I was telling Ben how much I liked his latest choice in swimwear. No, that's not what I was talking about.
It's the reason why we kept that muted, man.
Yeah. I was just making reference to Larry put out a video here recently talking about these cycles. And one thing that I just wanted to mention, and it's super important, if anything, you see the severity of the dip of and I don't even know what date that is. I think that's the sickness crash there on the S&P 500. Notice though that this cycle, Larry's cycle, it did not really go to new lows. It just showed like a minor pullback. So what you just have to take away from this, and I heard Ben say this, and I think it's the most important takeaway from these, is just to understand the rhythm of the market. Where, what should we be expecting uppy? Should we be expecting downy? Don't really look at this like, yeah, you're going to get a massive wipeout here because this cycle chart says this is when the wipeout has. So just be forewarned about that. But I definitely think this sort of ebb and flow of the cycles themselves is extremely valuable here. All right, so continue on there, Ben. Tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah, so I just thought that was quite interesting. One thing I've been working on lately is a little bit more down the rabbit hole of the rule of 72, trying to flesh that out and try my hand at some scripting. So I'll walk you through kind of where my head's at, and you can tell me what you think and if you kind of like the idea, if it's something I should keep exploring. But so anyone familiar with this, the idea that when a market comes down 72%, getting back up to the 38.2 of that range is a double. So if I was to just quickly add 38.2 here. Yeah. So say it came down to 72%, and then getting up to here is around about, it's a 100% increase to the 38.2, which is what we call the first stop target. And something I've been doing lately is realizing that as much as, this point here is significant in that it creates often a pivot point at that 72%, as you walk it down, it creates other points along the chart where it puts in quite important pivot points in the market relative to a closer distance in time. So there was the idea that if anybody is wanting to know more about it, you can look at the app. There's the rainbow retracement image. I'll maybe we can pull that up at the end, but I don't have it on hand. But it kind of shows all the different other levels that that kind of also relative to that 72, where the doubling levels go down, and they're also relative to this 72. But essentially what I wanted to do with that was create a script that essentially tracked the 72.
I put your rainbow retracement image in our GRI Crypto 100 little chat room on Rocket Chat.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate that.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. So this is the image here that's on. So just again, a little bit of background for anybody. Check out the app, and this kind of give you an idea of what that means. So I created a script that you can follow the 72% drop relative to a particular look back in time. So this essentially says at the moment on this chart, so the corrective speed, so within 20 weeks, looking back, if the price comes down 72% within 20 weeks, then let me try and explain this a bit better. So we could start with like a 52-week range, right? And see, it'll create a 72% line from the 52-week range high. But what this lets me do is kind of figure out what the speed of a particular price chart is moving at. So say, for instance, with this Litecoin chart, I know that at around, if it's correcting 72% within 20 weeks, it's actually going a little too far too fast. And so I know that it's, as a trade location area, it's probably going a little bit too quickly to the downside, and would potentially put in a pivot at that 72 level. So rather than drawing just a horizontal line from the one single point, for instance here, you can see there that that's the 72% level. So this is just helping you visualize a little bit more. And as you kind of bring that down over time, it's tracking this line here as a 72% drawdown. So that's what this script is doing. And then a couple of other things that I've put in there. We've got that first stop resistance. So this also, as you kind of tweak it to the point where these wicks are kind of just touching the 72 line. So it's almost like riding down that 72 line. What you'll find is that this 38, this kind of resistance level where you're going to get that 100% retracement, the price kind of rides it as a resistance. And then it also gives us the visualization that, hey, when it breaks through that line and starts trending up and makes this support, that's actually quite a bullish market, and then comes down again and puts in that as support. It's a pretty good indicator that a bottom has been formed. But yeah, it's something that's very, very new for me, that I'm just kind of figuring out as a tool how to use it. But if anyone's interested and they want to check out the script, the other thing that I've put on there is the 268 to 261.8 extension. And this is as a visual, just to kind of explain why I'm using that as an extension. If a market price is kind of bumping along, it goes up 261.8%. When it comes down that 72.36 level again, it'll actually hit the price that it took off from. And so that's kind of like a Wyckoff check. So I kind of see those two as a bit of a yin and a yang. And so likewise, I would just use this again and kind of tweak this to, so this is what I've called the discovery speed, which is where the 261.8 would be getting hit. And I'm trying to just tweak it so that the line is hitting the, so around about, Yeah, around about there, we know that when price starts to hit 261.8 as an extension within, what was that? Within 18 weeks, so probably within 18 weeks, we know that it's going too fast to the upside, and it's probably a good opportunity to start offloading. So yeah, I know there's probably similar things like this out there, and you could probably even use a very arbitrary number, like set these to 1 or 2, and then just tweak the time element of it. Yeah, I've just been using it as a bit of a handy visualization to give me an idea of how fast price is moving, especially relative to different assets. So with Litecoin correcting within 20 weeks is pretty typical. A lot of other cryptos, maybe they'll go down within 13 weeks. I think Mana, I pulled up, I was looking at that one. And this one moves super fast. So historically, so looking at it correcting, I think it was like within a month, it could correct. Yeah, and so it could go down 72% within a month and then hit a 261.8% profit within a month as well. So, and it's done that quite a lot over its history. So yeah, not all assets are exactly the same, and they sort of move at different speeds. So as Gan talks about, they have their own vibrational signature. So
nice. Yeah, whoa, did you see how he slipped that in? Damn, cool. Love it. Actually, dude, can you do me a favor? And can you draw a Foggenbaum off of that W that happened right around 2020 there?
This guy down here.
Yeah, like just seeing that. I guess that went all the way down there, so I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to see if that hit 2.618 to the upside there.
Okay.
But you're right. Did you all of you notice how he slipped in the Gan's vibrational how does it go? Vibrational signature?
Vibrational signature, yeah. There's your 261.8 right there.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt. This is so freaking cool. I don't know whether, I mean, if I understand correctly, what you're saying is if it trades to the bottom line, then if it can reverse and head up, the odds are it's going to trade to the top red line. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so this gray line here, that's your first stop target, essentially.
That almost looks like that's like a trend indicator. So if price is above that number, market's trending higher.
Right, because when it does go into the orange, right, the profit objective to establish your free position is the gray line, right?
Wow.
So they put on the position here, they establish their free position here, and then wherever they want to do their profit is, kind of up to you. But yeah, the idea that I like that this extension of this red line relates to, when the price comes down 72 point. Yeah.
And I wonder what the function is to try and figure out that smoothing period.
Right, and to me, I kind of have just been doing it by eye, and trying to align the wicks.
Do you notice that like at some points a certain number works, but then over time an asset changes its behavior?
That I can definitely see happening, because obviously it's not a predictor of what's going to happen in the future. Especially with an asset like Bitcoin that seems to grow up over time. But
See,
yeah,
like it's fascinating how right now with this fast setting, even though the market's been trending down now for basically a year, it's still above that gray line.
right. So it's still riding that. It hasn't had that moment of absolute capitulation
Is
that
that what you would call the 70% haircut? Would you call that almost like a capitulation event?
um with like like historically, like I would say that, yeah. Obviously this has gone down a lot more than 72%, right?
You
But
like to
within
look
that,
on these things on a log scale too, don't you?
I do, yeah. I mean, it gets a little funky trying to look at it like this.
Yeah.
Bit harder to see.
Well, so
Um,
you can really appreciate how big the 2.618 moves are on a regular scale. They're like
right.
huge.
Like it's huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, look at that blow off top.
yeah.
This is a cool chart, cool tool that you're building here. I love this stuff. And the question to me, this almost looks like it's almost like in a weird sort of way, it's almost like a Keltner channel. So
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you could adjust the variable for these bands based on like an ATR. Because Keltner channels use ATR and they use like a moving average of the ATR to adjust the size of the Keltner channels, eh? So
Okay.
I wonder if you could apply like that. There must be a way for you to manipulate the variable that you're using based on like maybe a moving average.
Mm.
I don't know. So,
From like some other indicator.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
like I guess the thing you have to wrap your head around is why are you picking 20 periods? Why are you picking 5 periods? Why
Right.
in this
Mm-hmm.
essay you're picking only 2 periods or 4 periods or whatever?
Sure.
And
Yeah.
is it, like average true range? That's what ATR is. The reason why you're using that is because it's going to give you what sort of the realistic upper and lower sort of limits of price ought to be given
Mm-hmm.
the average of price. So I
Yep.
just wonder if there's some, I'm just sort of thinking out loud here watching this
Mm-hmm.
presentation. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have seen Keltner channels, and maybe I need to look into how they're built and open up a code and
Well, it
um,
might also be, so there's two ways to measure volatility. You could go the ATR route or you could go standard deviation. So I
okay.
wonder whether because like when I look at your chart here, what I really see is a pretty predictable almost band. But
Mm-hmm.
then as price goes parabolic, the bands actually start to tighten up quite a bit.
Right. Right. And you
Anyway,
get
this is
funky things where the gray starts crossing the red, and yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's your Lambo indicator.
My
You're
Lambo
shopping for
indicator, yeah,
Lambos, right?
yeah. So I'm at the moment I'm trying to put this on my charts, and um, yeah, I mean, if we get down into situations where we're hitting the orange line,
Well, so that's just
yeah.
it. Like, if we could just figure out the variable for the distancing of this,
Hmm.
then there's no reason why we can't create a script and have this on the site. And then, like, literally, Stuart is basically spitting out names that are hitting this 72 level. And then
Yeah,
that'll make your life a lot easier, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
sure it'll be a never-ending, um, yeah, struggle of seeing how deep the rabbit hole goes, but to
Okay.
some degree, it will make my life easier.
Hey, Sally. Hey,
All
Sally, I don't
right.
know whether you're aware, but there's a whole bunch of TRIers gonna hit Saudi Arabia here in the next couple months. You better be ready for them. Actually, Chris is relocating to Europe soon, eh? I don't know whether you're aware of that, eh? Holy moly. Well, I'm so proud of Chris. Anyway, he's going to be shopping for our Portugal property.
Nice.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there. That's a fantastic presentation. Really cool stuff.
Cool. I hope it makes sense. And yeah, if anyone's interested and they're on the site and they want to take a peek under the hood and play around with it, just let me know and I'll send them a copy.
Right on. Well, that's cool. Thank you for your generosity, sir. If anything, maybe what we should do is have you come in the level 2 week when we do the scripting module, and maybe we should make it an assignment for the class to help refine your script. You might get some, because some of these students, they're just absolute whizzes with this scripting stuff.
Yeah.
You might get some. You know who would actually be fun to point at this thing is John. I don't know where John is. You know, the guy who built the WordPress site for the WDB or the Weekly Commodity Trend Survey. You know, so it'd be cool to point him at this script as well and see what he can do with it.
Yeah, cool.
Food for thought.
Yeah, it would be nice to know if there is a mathematical relationship and perhaps what that
how
is.
would we
That would be
figure
awesome.
that out? There's got to be some way to figure out that variable. Maybe, you know, like what Sjord is trying to do is do the machine learning. At least he was last time he was working on this in earnest. And have the machine just go through all of the different variable iterations and spit out which variable settings are the most profitable. So it might just be a simple function of doing that. And the machine learning, it'll tell us which setting it produces the best results. So, yeah, super cool.
Nice, cool. Well, I'll yield the floor and back over to you.
All right, fantastic stuff. Paul, you got any thoughts in this? I don't know whether Paul's back from his smokes. He probably smoked a pipe by now.
No, I'm here. I'm watching.
There he is. Any thoughts?
No, I'm just watching at this moment. I'm just thinking.
All right. Well, that was a couple hours. And oh, by the way, this was the image. I think you showed this on your screen, didn't you? I seem to recall you did.
Yeah, I think I did just briefly. Yeah.
This is the image from, and this is something that Ben built. This app. You can find all these fun, including. And I've shown you all this before. You better be getting off your asses and loading up on crypto. This is the buying window, according to Ben. Anyway, you can find all these cool studies and charts and stuff on Ben's app. This app is so cool, and I'm so grateful for you to have done this. Thank you, Ben. Just awesome stuff. Okay. I think we'll probably leave it at that for this week. Excellent content. Probably, I gotta say, as a trading community goes, I haven't really found too many YouTube shows and that are consistent that have this kind of banter back and forth. So I really hope you in YouTube land are enjoying this. It's a real privilege to do this every week with the boys here. So thank you very much, guys. Totally awesome. Suppose it's time to do, a little bit of a shill. Of course, it's always a question of whether my computer will allow me to actually show this on the video. I did a video today, and I tried to show the fact that we have a school term coming up. And if you want to learn how to build a trading plan and maybe a little bit more advanced of an analysis and exploration of your trading and your trading plan and building your small business of trading, then the little chat bots are going to tell you. We have a new school term opening up here in a few days. I never know whether my computer's going to actually allow this page to be displayed. But this is our school program. And actually, you know, this is kind of interesting. Dav and I actually did an interview right at the very bottom of the crypto market in 2019, I think it was. The end of 2000, yeah, the beginning of 2019. And I'll tell you, this bottom, what we're going through right now, is exactly the same as when I did this interview with Dav. So if you want to go and actually in this interview, they asked me what were the names that you like going forward, and I specifically said RLC. I love that altcoin, and I still love it. I think you can make a ton of money on that thing. So anyway, if you want, for fun, you can go watch a video interview that Dav and I did years ago. And of course, also learn firsthand from a lot of students what they thought of the program. And actually, it was so cool. I mean, this material that we teach is timeless. And I was just so proud of the fact that I came on and, you know, got a whole bunch of notifications. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like, the whole thing is popping off. And I thought this was so cool. Trade it or not. I'm not even sure who this is. I probably know who this is if they said their name, but I don't know the name Trade It or Not. But this is exactly what I'm here to do. I'm so proud of the fact that people are saying, you know, I've learned this with Brian and TRI. You know, school term's starting. I mean, do you want to set yourself up to succeed and start banging out some monster wins? I'll tell you, some students have done just absolutely fantastic with this course material. So, school term does start up here shortly. It's a few days. You missed the raffle. I even saw last Wednesday, Great Del Moody was trying to encourage everybody to participate in the raffle. Was that one of your people who won that raffle, that William gentleman? Was that your guy, Paul? Because I did see you made reference to that.
No.
No, it wasn't one of your guys. Anyway, the winner was it might be a lady by the name of William. Oh yeah, I wanted to also mention this. I was over the top impressed when we were in Portugal. We sort of sat down with the people that came to Portugal, and there's Sally right there. I was just talking to him on YouTube. There he is right there. There's DBG. He's such a badass. DBG's the man. Anyway, the point being that Josh, who's sort of our I'm not even quite sure how to describe it, but sort of head marketer right now, he actually went and put this video together with just sort of sound bites.
Trying to actually make money online in other ways, like I'm playing online poker, and you know, I understood how.
And I have to say, it was such a joy. Great memories, just absolutely great memories. There's Adam, right? You see me talking to Adam in there in the lounge. There's Adam right there. And there's Stoned Ape. What do you think Stoned Ape is doing right there? Anybody who knows Martin, you know exactly what he's doing. Anyway, go watch the video. Super fun. And I have to say, I was just over the top impressed with Josh's. And actually, anybody who's on the site who wants to know who does the write-ups for the daily briefs, it's Rares here. He's a great guy. Anyway. Rush, it was just such a beautiful experience, and you know the great part about it is these people speak from the heart, and it was very compelling, and I gotta say, you know, hats off to Josh, just absolutely beautiful work. So you want to get to know TRI a little bit more, actually hearing TRIers talk personally about their experience. Pop on over to the blog. The blog is actually free, so you don't even need a site membership. And honestly, I've said this before. I don't really even know that many places on the internet where you can get this kind of market research all completely for free. I mean, there's the Benner cycle. Somebody asked for us to talk about the Benner cycle. Just pop on the blog. Look at the work that Josh has put into this. I mean, it's absolutely remarkable, the work that he's done. So feel free to pop on over to the site. And I don't know. Let's see if I can get a shameless plug from one of my buddies here. Paul, what do you think? Is our education program worth the time and effort for people to participate in?
Yep, definitely. 100%. I recommend to everyone from Crypto Traders Arena, if they want to get serious about trading, go and learn from TRI.
There you go.
At least level 1.
Yeah.
Then some people, they already joined the level 2, depending on everyone. But you need level 1 to understand the market.
Yeah.
And the process.
Yeah. So, the ball's in your court, people. Of course, I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but I think what we do here is we change people's lives, and I think we change them for the better. So I'll leave the shill at that. You got a few days to sign up here before the new school term starts. Next term will start probably the latter part of the spring, early summer. So if you want to get your stuff together, and you know, I've even said this publicly, and this is the worst part about this business. When stuff goes on sale, nobody wants to buy. The only time you guys all get super excited about buying is when stuff is ridiculously overpriced. I would actually make the argument, now of course the public is completely wiped out and they're not interested in this stuff at all. Here we are down here. I mean, do you have your act together? Are you ready for this next bull? Are you positioning yourself, putting yourself in a position of strength? I can only bark so much, you know, but you gotta get your act together. You got about 30 weeks left to get yourself all set up and ready to go, because the next bull's coming, and really, I don't want you to be left behind. I want you driving Lambos. I mean, that's the whole reason why I do this stuff. So. Okay, why don't we leave it at that? Thank you so much to my partners in crime. I suppose the only thing we ought to leave off with here is grand predictions for next week. Of course, our Romanian, what are we calling you? The Romanian mountain moon man. He's giving us twos. So, hey, just keep giving us twos and the market keeps going us higher. Awesome. And actually, maybe your guy from Twitter, that $7 trillion market cap guy by July, maybe he's watching you. Who knows?
Yeah, probably.
So, but actually, why don't we start off, Ben? You haven't been around for a bit, so what are you thinking, Ben? Up, down, or sideways here?
Put me down for a 1.
A 1. All right, 1 it is. So slightly higher, not lower. All right, and Paul, what are you thinking here?
I have to be higher than Ben, so I need a 2.
All right. So I had the color correct anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's not change the color.
I tell you, man, we've come an awful long way here. Do we?
I don't know if next Wednesday we'll have 2, but until next Wednesday we'll get, I guess, to a higher level. Maybe next Wednesday will be back down, but
you can almost kind of see. You know, I love doing these sine waves. Of course, I don't know how accurate this is, but it sure makes me feel good. So, put on one of our sine waves. There's a nice peak. Where are we here? Oops, that's a trough. Let's do a trough maybe there and a peak there. Trough, maybe. Peaky, maybe. Maybe a little further back. Maybe like that. So trophy. Come on, you. Anyway. Peaky, trophy, peaky. All right, and where's next Wednesday? Next Wednesday, do we have any Fed meetings? We got your big inflation numbers coming out, eh? When on your calendar, when's the Fed meeting next?
Let me check. Let's put the high impact.
All right. Well, anyway, there is our next meeting. So it looks like we're going to be on an up now. So we'll have a bit of a down trough. Then we'll have an up. think I probably, believe it or not, I think I'm gonna go with. I gotta say we're gonna be slightly down from here, so I'm just gonna put a little marker, doink, and here I'm gonna say somewhere down in this area, down in here. Anyway, we'll leave that on there. See what happens. So I'm gonna go with, unfortunately, a -1, which is kind of good because it good balances us out. So I'm not gonna go crazy uber bull, but I think we've in my opinion is I think we've seen the meat and potatoes of this rally. So anyway, only time will tell. All right, I guess orange is the color. I don't know what color this is. Where's that? There's that orange there. Is that the same color? Yeah, because it is. All right, why don't we leave it at that? Ben, since you were absent last week, you didn't have the opportunity. Of course, Paul did it like a boss. So I hope you guys all enjoyed Fed meeting tonight, Australia time. Is that today? Is the Fed meeting today? Oh, goodness. I thought I picked sine wave. Did I not pick sine wave? Sine wave, sine line down here. I think that's what I picked. Anyway, might be moon cycles. All right. PMA for the win. I mean, if you're long, stay long, be strong. As long as the breadth indicator is still pointing higher, I will stay long. As soon as this rolls over, I'll probably hop off. But if you can, consider joining the site. You can come and listen to Paul on Friday. I suppose Ben will probably ask us to do it, but nonetheless, I'll ask you anyway. If you could wish Liam and I a safe trip on the mean roads of Vancouver, British Columbia tomorrow. He loves his car rides, no doubt about it. So as long as it makes him happy, I'm more than happy to do it. So, and actually, because Ben wasn't here, and I was getting to that earlier, but I got off topic. Ben, I don't know whether you can. Well, actually, we didn't do closing thoughts, did we? Did we do closing thoughts? I don't know. Closing thoughts from you, Paul. What are your some closing thoughts for these good people?
Nothing new, as usual. Right. Work your plan, work your setups. Doesn't matter if you're a day trader or an investor, little old lady, dollar cost averaging. You need a plan, and you need to follow that plan.
Sounds good.
If you don't do that, you cannot make money in this market.
I can subscribe to that newsletter. All right, Ben, closing thoughts for these good people?
Thanks for joining. Thanks for all your input. And yeah, don't forget to join the school if you haven't joined up. And if you don't have the money, are they doing a raffle?
We had the raffle.
We had the raffle?
Won.
Oh, okay. All right. So, great.
Too late on the raffle.
Too late on the raffle. But yeah, go get a loan and join TII.
It's not in this hyperinflation world. I think it's still under $1,000. So I don't know. I'm sure that's a lot of money to some people in this world. So
it is, but it's worth it, and it's been worth it for me. So I really appreciate it.
Well,
so yeah.
Good. All right. Okay, so PMA for the win. And I suppose the only thing left for us to say, Ben, since you were absent last couple of weeks, we'll give you the honors tonight. The only thing left for us to say at this point is a big
bye for now.